Okay, hello everybody. I'm gonna have to kind of keep my voice down because it's late at night and you know, my roommates are sleeping. So I just got an email from a YouTube message from uh, somebody asking me to do a China video of all things. When I came back uh, to the U.S. From China, uh, I had actually grown pretty tired of the place, if that makes any sense. It can be. I think essentially there are two or three kinds of people. You have your lifelong expats who really don't have any affinity for the country they were born in or the country they live in, and when they go to China, they love it. I can't necessarily say that I get along with those people very well. Um, I think that part of a traveler's job is to take what they've learned back to their own country, and lifelong expats aren't exactly doing it. They're not paying into the various tax systems around the world either. That kind of can hurt things. I mean, you could say there's another expatriate in the country, paying those taxes, but you really never know. Um, so it wasn't just Chinese people and Chinese things that I was getting tired of. I was getting tired of British people and Australian people and Hungarian people and a bunch of Europeans that really dislike Americans and stuff like that. And I don't really I have no real problems with other cultures or anything like that. But I'm just telling it like it was. Uh, you know Americans are really not very well liked, a very well liked culture amongst most of the world. Uh, the funny thing is, I got along with a lot of French people in China, and people would say that's weird, but that's the way it was. Um, but I was just getting tired of the whole China situation. Being away from the foods you really like. Say if you want to say you can just get the ingredients and make all that stuff in China. Not really. I mean, it's never the same. You go and you order a New Zealand. You go to a steakhouse and you get a steak, and it's a New Zealand steak. It's not a U.S. steak or anything like that. Spaghetti is a little different. The coffee is different. This just everything's not quite right. And I try not to be really picky about things, but you know, I like a triple meat Whopper now and then. It's hard to go without that. And that brings me back to the whole lifelong expat thing. I think that that one reason that the lifelong expats are able to be lifelong expats is because most of them go home like 2 or 3 times a year. If I had been able to go home 3 times while I was away and stay home for 4 to 6 weeks, I probably would have stayed in China longer. I was planning on staying in China longer. It just didn't work out because I couldn't find a job when I needed one, and I just had an offer to come home, and um, it seemed right to take it. There was a girl there who, although I cared for very much, needed to be away from. Um, it was just kind of it was just kind of turning into a really dislikable situation for me. And but nothing really changed all that much while I was there. I could have traveled more. There was some stuff I didn't do in China that a lot of people do because I wanted to buy guitars and stuff. So I took the opportunity to be occasionally foolish with my money because I figured, why go see the rest of China? Like, I can see everything that China has here in Wuhan, and that's really true to a certain extent. They have temples and they have you know, they have things to do and stuff like that. You know, you have just as much fun in Wuhan, really, or a couple hours outside of Wuhan as you can anywhere in China, and see just as many really cool and interesting things. So I've taken up half the video explaining, why I was getting kind of tired of China and why I kind of chose to come back. Really, I was kind of trying to stay, but I just had the opportunity to come home. That being said, over the last couple of years, well, I haven't quite been home 2 years yet. It'll be 2 years in December. I honestly, I really wished I was back in China a lot, but I didn't like working in China. I've got to be completely honest about that. That's not the right answer. I liked the job, but I didn't like the fact that getting my salary was like a second job, and such. But for the most part, I really loved being a teacher. I picked up ESL training from that. There are ESL jobs here in the States, and I'm actually considering looking into some of them. So, who knows? Maybe my teaching experience in China will help me become a teacher here, even though, I don't necessarily have a degree or anything. I might be able to get into it somehow. I also met a lot of really good people in China. As much as, all those cultures can annoy you, I have great British friends and Australian friends and a lot of really good Chinese friends, I miss those people, and I miss good fried rice, and I miss good fried noodles, and I even sometimes miss Chinese McDonald's a little bit. But the thing is, China to me now is a place I would want to go visit. I'm kind of trying to produce a TV show right now, and realistically going there to gain assistance with that through animation and stuff is something I might be very open to doing. So I wouldn't mind working in China in that capacity, going there on a tourist visa and then going to Hong Kong to renew it and stay there as much as I needed. But I would want to work on my own terms there. If you take the whole working aspect out of it, then as long as you have someone with you that speaks the language and is kind of functioning as your translator, or you've learned the language, China is a wonderful, wonderful place. A wonderful place. I have every intention of going back there someday, hopefully within the next few years. I have no real wish to stay there very long if I'm going to be working, but it might be real nice to go back for a year, catch up with everybody, see what's going on, maybe get a little work done with the show while I'm there. I'm not sure. But I also wouldn't mind seeing that girl again. We're not together, but anymore. But the thing is, I do miss her too. It was what it was. I mean, it's an experience. I learned a lot from it. I took a lot of things away from it. And yeah, I'd love to go back to China someday, soon, and I'd like to stay there a while. Realistically, the flight's so long that if you're going to be going to China and staying less than a month, it almost seems not worth it anyway. There's like 30 seconds left in the video now. There's not much else to say about it anyway. I'd probably, feel the same way if I went to Japan or something. I did go to Japan a while and felt it was a lot different from China, but I don't know. Not to work. I wouldn't want to work there again because I doubt I could get a reliably good job without a degree now like I did before. So that's another concern, and I'd hate to go there and have to deal with a job I hated again. Anyway, later guys.